of us today is that many of us, we believe that if somebody has taken your husband, if somebody has taken your wife, the one that you think is given from the Lord to you, then you begin to compete with that woman. You begin to compete with that man. You want to show you are better. You want to prove that the person has done a great mistake to choose wrongly. The person has done a great mistake to marry the wrong person. And you begin to compete, you begin to compete, you begin to compete. What are you competing for? You remember King Saul? When King Saul had David in his palace, David was playing the music for him. The evil spirit that was tormenting the king was coming out and he was finding relief. Then another thought was coming to King Saul. That look, this David, one day he will take your kingdom. Okay, let me kill him. Bring me my spear. Begin to throw spear. The person that God used to help you, you want to kill him. Because of what? Competition. This will bring me to the title of today's message. There is no competition in destiny. Luke chapter 5 and verses 1 to 11. Peter and his encounter with Jesus, his mentor. At that moment, Peter had not yet become a disciple. These were the first disciples that joined in the ministry of Jesus to serve under him. He was cleaning the nets. He tried to catch many fish all night. He couldn't catch anything. And while he was cleaning the nets, along with his companions, that's when he met Jesus. Peter didn't meet Jesus in plentiful. He didn't meet Jesus in breakthrough. He didn't meet Jesus in blessings and prosperity. But he met Jesus in business failure and disappointment. What is your situation right now? What are you experiencing right now? What you are experiencing now as a Christian could be part of the events that would reveal God's purpose in your life. Peter had the option either to keep his business and his money and continue from there to build his wealth and become very rich, or to leave it and follow Jesus and become fisher of men, become a preacher, an apostle. We are not created to worship our possessions, but we are created to worship God, the giver of the possessions. Now, another lesson is that when it is time for the purpose of God to manifest in your life, there would be a driving force that will change your actions and location. For Peter, that was the time of disappointment, the time of business failure, the time of discouragement, the time he was there at the seashore, at the seaside. That was his time. So when there is a change of mantle, there must be a change of location. They go together. From fisherman to fisher of men. From seashore to the city, to the town. Change of mantle, change of location. Mantle is what you are called to do. Your divine destiny, your divine purpose, what God has prepared you, what God has destined you to do. But unfortunately, many of us today, we begin to compete with one another, not in good way. What you are called by God. One is called to be an apostle. One is called to be an evangelist. One is called to be a prophet. One is called to be a teacher. One is called to be a pastor. What are you called? What are you called for? So listen to the one who called you. The one who called you never said to you, start fighting the other ones that he called. Okay, let me give you an example. We have a church here. Does it mean we are the only church here in Almere? We are not the only church. There are many churches, thousands of churches, they are everywhere. So imagine, instead of us to be united, what is happening? One pastor will stand this way, another pastor will stand that way. This is one pastor that is here. Then another pastor, me, I'm here. Okay? We are opposite. And we begin to throw stone. You are a fool. You are a fool. Eh? You are this. You are that. You are a liar. You are a deceiver. You are wicked. No, you are evil. No, you are bad. You are tricky. And then who is suffering for it? It is you. The lost sheep of Israel that they want to suffer for. Why? Because the leaders are fighting. They don't have the spiritual maturity. When you hear one pastor accusing other pastors that they are not from God, that they are not good, that you should be very careful, don't go to their church. When you hear that from the mouth of pastor, you know that they lack spiritual maturity. And what does the spiritual maturity says? The spiritual maturity says there is no competition in destiny. Amen? So stop comparing yourself to others. Why? Because there is no competition in destiny.